All right, SoFi update here on the 7th. So last video, I think we were right here. And I was looking for something down here around 1275. We got that. We bounced, looked great, and then the market just went to crap. And it came down here and broke the low. So we know that this is definitely not the end right here, the fourth wave. But this can still be the end of an A wave here. This can still be an impulse. And then this can be a B wave here. That's what I think it is. You can see here on Tesla, basically hits the 1.61 fib after that move. I have the fifth wave ending right here on Tesla, and this being a B wave, basically coming down here and filling the gap. SoFi has a gap at 1156. But I don't know if it'll make it down there. It just depends on if the market keeps on selling off. That's actually what I'm be watching more than the SoFi chart. I want to see the overall market bounce, and then we'll bounce too. So I want to see something like this. If we bounce, we're going to get some kind of flat. It could be a running flat, could be an expanded flat, but I would be looking up here all the way to like 1450 potentially right away. There's been some really bullish. They've been selling puts on this week. And so I haven't seen any bearish options on this. I've only seen bullish. So if you accumulated down here, Gamma right here is saying 12 bucks at the bottom. That's where it hit 1205. I bought some at 1205. We'll see if that ends up being the bottom or if it comes down here to this gap fill. Either way, I think it is a B wave and the move ended right here. So regardless that it broke the low, I still think that we're going to get a nice move higher here soon. Why do I think that? Why is this not going to continue to go down? Because you look at the moving averages and you look at it and you say the 200s down here, we're below the 20 and 50. On the weekly, the next support is down here at 1030. Like the blue box, we definitely finally hit. But it's like, why would this stop going down? For one, I think it ended right there. Two, we have bullish options. Three, probably the most important reason is the market can't go down anymore. If it does keep on going down here, then we are going to be in a much, much larger correction, and it won't even matter what I'm saying about Elliot Wave anymore. So if you look at SPY here, it just broke the 200 DMA. If it finishes above that, that's really nice to see. But really what I'm looking at, I'm not even looking at the 200 DMA really. I'm looking at the weekly 50. The weekly 50 has been support this entire bull market, except for when we were getting started down here. Ever since then, even in 2023, we came about below it a little bit. But even in that August crash, we didn't come close to it. But now it's at 563. So if that were to break, it doesn't matter what I say about SoFi because everything's going to be selling off like crazy. So really, if you want to just know what to do on SoFi, just watch the weekly 50 and make sure that that holds. We're going to be good today, it looks like. If there's more downside next week, we could be in jeopardy of losing that. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's going to be the biggest tell on what you should do with SoFi. I think we probably bottomed today, to be honest. Looking at this, we made one more low. We came all the way down here to 568. Go down here to 565 maybe, but I don't think it's going to go below the 50 on the weekly this week. And now we're overextended to the downside. We should see a bounce next week, if not today. On QQQ, we just nailed the 50 on the weekly. And you can see we held it the whole bull market. So 50 on the weekly on QQQ and on SPY. I haven't looked at IWM. Actually, no, I'll take that back. I did look at that. IWM has to hold 200. So it has the weekly 200 right here. That's the last moving average right there at 200. If it loses 200, then that's not good either. So that's another one to watch. 200 on IWM, 563 on SPY, and QQQ is like 484, 483. Those are what you want to watch going into the end of the week. If you watch those, that will tell you if this is going to be valid, my Elliot Wave analysis, because that's going to come in last if the market is crashing, obviously. But my analysis is saying that if we bounce, which we should see a leg up soon. I would actually expect it to happen in the next couple of days, see a big move higher. Is it possible that I'm wrong and this is a B wave? This does look pretty extended for a B wave. Like it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here to 1156. That's possible, but again, the overall market probably doesn't have that much more downside. But if we do, let's say we do break those weekly 50 SMAs, then you're going to have to make a decision, because what I would do, honestly, would just be hedging. I would just be potentially selling cover calls, using that premium to buy puts, try to get as delta neutral as possible, instead of just selling all of your shares and being scared, because, again, we are still way overextended to the downside. And we're basically oversold on the RSI as well. I don't use RSI that much, but when it gets really oversold, I look at it. You can see here on standard deviations, we're at about 3 standard deviations right now. On RSI, get rid of one of these. On RSI, we are about to be oversold for the first time since 2023. So, wouldn't make very much sense to sell your shares here. So if you want to keep your shares, if this were to fall through those moving averages, then I would be selling cover calls and buying puts. But right now, I wouldn't worry about it. That's only if this goes below the 50 on the weekly and finishes, let's say it finishes next week below that. Then you'd want to be super careful with your shares, and you'd want to have some way of hedging, so you're not just losing money as it keeps on going down. You're making money too, and then when it bounces, you take off your hedges, and you profit the other way with your shares. So I don't think we're in that bad of a place here. I bought some more today. I think that there's a very good chance that next week we see a big leg higher. And I'll show you the options real quick. So here's just this week. There's been about 3.9 million $15 puts, 2.6 million for 321 $15 put. They're selling those. So that is a bullish option trade right there, a big one as well. I would like to see more to confirm it, but at least you have something. You don't have them buying puts on SoFi. So buy the dip. I still think that it's more than likely we are going to get a bounce next week, and then move all the way up here to 1620 at least. And yeah, that's all I got to say for right now. I'm not doing that much technicals on this video. I'm more talking about the overall market, because that's going to matter more. And we're at a point where it can't go any lower. And if it does, none of this is going to matter anymore. So I'll do technicals when we finally bounce. Remember, you have a gap here at 1156. If that hits, I would imagine SPY is going to be down there by the 50 on the weekly. So not a big technical video, but remember, this is still a fourth wave in my book. I just want to see a bounce here soon, and then we can start either the B wave retrace. Is it possible that we just start a fifth wave higher? Seems like slim chances right now, but we'll see how it plays out, and I'll do another video here soon. That's my update for during the day on SoFi. Watch the weekly 200 on IWM and the weekly 50 on QQQ and SPY.